start with one on what happened on Park Avenue. I don't know if the players were talking about that much today, but have you thought much during your career about how NFL personnel could be targeted off the field, and what happened at Park Avenue made you think any differently about it?
I actually haven't heard about that. Can you go on?
What
happened?
So, yeah, there was a shooting at the building where NFL headquarters are, and he had the shooter killed 4 people, but he had a note. He didn't get to NFL headquarters, but he had a note in his pocket saying that he had CTE and something about the NFL. Sorry to tell me about that first, but yeah. Anyway, had you thought much even prior to hearing that about security just being kind of a celebrity in the NFL and stuff and so forth?
Yeah, I think that all of us players, coaches, staff, even, we're all placed on this pedestal, and we just have to be on top of our game at all times. I think that instance, that's awful. I do trust the security of the NFL, and I'm fully comfortable being into the system. I think that is awful, and I think all the players could agree with me on that, and all the coaches, all the staff. But I'm kind of shocked about that. I just hearing about that, so I'm struggling to come up with a response for it.
Well, coming off that, just in terms of being back and getting everything going in terms of training camp and everything like that, just what's it been like being back at it for you?
Yeah, it feels great. I think with the new system, new coaches, new faces, it's always good to have a fresh start. You're out here, and you get a chance, just like yesterday, to put on some pads. So we haven't felt that since a year ago. So it's always great, communicating with new coaches and players, building that unity, especially now in training camp. It's always a good feeling to, go out there, execute, and just have fun doing it.
Do you feel coming back to this, you've been here for a couple of years now, but do you feel coming back with the new approach, new regime, everything that's here, do you feel like the vibe is a little different in any way?
I would say so, yeah. And I would bring it back to, the new faces, new scheme. Everybody's a little bit excited, and just throughout the energy of the building to go out there and play. We talk about the new schedule, new scheme, that fires up a player. Obviously what we've done in the past isn't the way. So any little change is necessary, and I think that fires up the players.
How noticeable is it to have a guy like that up front of you?
Dude's huge. He looks like there's 2 players. There's an extra D line up there. I'm excited for that. Our interior guys have been playing very well. I was talking to DeMario a few days ago, and I was like, man, this D-line play? I was like, I don't even know what my gap is sometimes. I'm just fitting on the ball because they're doing so well up front. But yeah, they're doing so well. To have a guy like that can play 2 gaps is really, really good for a defense.
What do you think this game can do for your game?
I think just like it can do for anybody's game, I think it frees you up in certain spots. I think there's different disguise elements that can help me in my versatility. But then again, I don't want to get into too much scheme and anything like that. I just think that it starts with trusting the coaches that they're going to put you in the right spot. And at the end of the day, whatever we're told to do, we got to go out and make plays on top of that.
I know this isn't maybe the best comparison, but Philly obviously runs kind of a similar version with the Fangio Staley connection, and Zach Bond went from here to that. You guys as a team, can there be that big of a jump that Zach need for you guys on the defense or your game specifically? I don't know if I'm reaching there or
right.
What.
Well, I think every player is different. I think that every player fits well in a certain scheme and a certain position in defense. And I think he was placed in a really good spot, and I think he executed with the guys that he had in front. And I do see that with the system that we have here, that we're going to have guys in good positions to go out and execute based off of the way they play their game.
You've seen Chase Young since college, but what have you seen him in year 2 here?
I think that he's matured a lot as a player. I think he understands how important of a piece he is on our defense. And I'd just like to go out and see him setting the edge from a 9 alignment and playing the game that he loves. Yeah, like I said, matured a lot. He's going to bring a lot of fire to this defense and a lot of presence around the quarterback. So we just got to keep him going, and just really excited what he's going to do.
Could you expand what you mean by emotion or maturity? Like, is it emotional maturity? Is it maturity of understanding like what to do defensively? Like, what do you mean by that?
I think more so understanding how big of a role he is in this defense, understanding his importance. We got to have him on his game, and he knows that. And I think he's seen that, and just his presence around the ball and his emotion within the defense is what we're really going to need.
She spoke about how playing the wide nines frees up the defensive line and their pass rush, just being in that wider alignment. I'm sure there's maybe a nuanced answer situationally, but broadly speaking, what impact does that alignment have on the linebackers? I
think it depends. I mean, we're getting into, sometimes we'll do a tight nine out of different formations. I think that it gives him the ability to not think as much and being placed in certain alignments that could affect his game. He's really good off the edge, and with those bigger guys, those athletic guys, you don't want them to think a lot. You want them to react and make plays, and I think that's what that allows him to do. And I think being placed at that position, he's very comfortable in that spot.
Justin Reed was speaking the other day about some of the decisions he gets to make kind of pre-snap and kind of quarterbacking the defense and things like that. Is that as unique as that sounds, or is that something that sort of exists in most defenses in your experience?
I would say it depends on this defensive scheme. I would say in this one, for sure, linebackers and the D-line are relying on his call. And you always like to have a smart safety back there like Justin, so we're really looking forward to it. But yeah, sometimes some defenses, they start from the linebackers, some could be D-line, but, we rely on some safety communication. But obviously we love, the workload that Justin's given, and we're excited to, see it.
To that point, how do you see Julian kind of hop in and settle in his role so quickly?
I think that, he's on the plane, gets off, and he's going to practice, and he's having to learn so fast right now. So we're just seeing a little bit of that right now, but he works hard. He's a smart player. I think that we're going to put him in the right place, but being here for so short, he's trying to pick up on the defense just like all of us are. So he's placed in an even spot of all of us. So we're going to continue throughout camp to see and watch the progress. But as far as right now, I'm sure he likes where he's at and how he's progressing in this scheme. But every defense has similarities. So when he was in Indy, I'm sure that it's probably pretty similar to some of the things he's going to do here.
Pete, after the kind of performance of the run defense last year, I mean, we've seen some of the personnel moves that the team has made addressing that, but has that also been like an emphasis in meeting rooms and stuff like that, just kind of getting that turned around specifically this year?
Yeah, and it hurts me to say, but we've always been a good run defense here. So last year, seeing the numbers, it still doesn't sit well with us. With any good defense, you got to be able to stop the run. That always has to be a given within any single year. So obviously, with the personnel and the scheme, I think that allows us to do that very well, and you can even see that in practice. But you got to be able to stop the run before you can open up anything on third down or bring in the extra packages.
What do you make of like trying to phrase this the right way? Like you only have one interception in your career, right? Like is it just a matter of like I'm going out there to do my job, and my job is not like I'm not in the opportunity to make those plays, or like what I was asking about scheme before, like and personal production, like could you see those numbers going up in this scheme? Like I'm sorry, but
I mean, yeah, that's hard. That's hard to say. You know, I don't. This scheme allows us, you know, to use vision, having heavy vision on the quarterback. So, you know, that could very well happen. You know, then again it goes into the defense, the call. Where's my responsibility? Am I doing this or that? So, a lot of the times, you know, an interception could happen if on a mistake. So, if the quarterback's making the right decision or not. So. Right place, right time type situation, but also making a great play. So, you know, it depends on the call, it depends on the situation. Thank you guys.